This is the continuity strategy that is working for new coaches and course creators. Do you think that you need a massive audience to make the continuity or subscription model work? Think again.
Before we dive into continuity and subscription model, I think it's that time that we just take a quick little pause and define what is continuity. Now, there's a lot of definitions out there of continuity, but we're going to give you the geek's definition of continuity. The geek's definition of continuity is this: it is a way of doing business that is obsessed with keeping things in flow and consistent. This applies to both how you run your internal business and the way that your customers experience the journeys that you craft for them. The weird thing is that when we start talking about continuity, oftentimes, especially in the marketing space, it's tightly connected with subscription model. One of the main reasons for that is that the king of funnels, Russell Brunson, introduced continuity. Well, he actually introduced it a really long time ago, but people actually started hearing it and focusing on it in 2022 when he released his linchpin model. Now, the linchpin model is a business model for all intents and purposes for people who are obsessed with leveraging funnels in order to make money. When he introduced, Russell, the linchpin model, and the cornerstone of the linchpin is the concept of continuity, all of a sudden continuity became a focus and all the rage, right? It maybe took about a year to take off, but now if you're in the funnel community, everyone's talking about continuity. But what people are not understanding right now is that there's a big difference between a business model and what we call an experience model, right? And so when they talk about continuity, a lot of times they lump together the business model, which is a subscription model where normally somebody pays you month over month for, or what we call reoccurring revenue. And the experience model, which is I have a continuous program that people can get engaged with and ascend with me. Two different things that oftentimes when we talk about continuity are blended together. The most important part is that wherever you're at in your understanding of continuity, in today's climate, the business model of continuity and the experience that you create of continuity, they're pretty much a connected package. And so we need to think about them and treat them the same. And here's the coolest part, is that the business model of continuity, which is reoccurring revenue, actually supports the experience of a continuity program. Kind of cool. Now, before we dive in, I think it's really important that we know, since the business model of continuity and the experience model of continuity are of the same thing, we need to understand, just for a hot ticket, where does this concept of reoccurring revenue and subscription even come from in the first place? In order to effectively understand the business model of continuity, which we know now is tightly connected to subscription models, we have to understand a little bit more about the history of subscription models. It'll help us in our understanding. Okay, so let's kind of go all the way back. I did a little bit of research and I found a great Forbes article that would trace subscription models all the way back to the early 1800s in the United Kingdom. It came about in milk delivery, where they literally had people with milk in a horse-drawn buggy deliver house to house, and they would pay reoccurring month over month to the milkman. Insert funny milkman jokes now. Or we also saw magazine subscriptions starting again around that same time, where they would deliver magazines and you would pay on a regular basis in order to get that delivery. Now, fast forward into today's current market, and you're going to see that according to a study that I found from West Monroe, that Americans spend on average $273 a month. Now, I don't know about you, but I know I spend a heck of a lot more than $273 a month on subscriptions. In fact, it's so out of control that there's actually apps now, if you have ever heard of something like Rocket Fuel, that help you manage the number of subscriptions that you're actually a part of. It has exploded everywhere. Even reporting Netflix is a great example of this. They have grown from 400,000 subscribers in 2001 to in 2010 they had 18.2 million subscribers. That is incredible growth of a subscription market. And they're not alone. We got to think, why did this happen? Like, why is the subscription model so dominant right now in terms of the business model to have as a company? Well, there's 4 factors according to this Forbes research. The first one is just to save on price. Great examples of this are Costco. You pay your monthly $25 a month or whatever it may be, and you're going to have incredible savings, even more so than the ones that you already were having. Dollar Shave Club put their name on the subscription leaderboard when they started to come out with their Dollar Shave Club, and you would get a box, and the amount of savings that you would be able to have on really high-end razors was substantial. Fast forward, Amazon, of course, we can't forget about them. They are winning the subscription game because of convenience. So everybody knows the Amazon Prime. I don't know about you, but like if somebody doesn't actually sell something through Amazon, I almost get annoyed because I'm like, I just want to use my Prime membership, not pay for shipping, right? So it's a matter of convenience. The next one that we see is subscription models that are really more for personalization. And this is things like meal delivery services. Like I know for me, I use a system called Hungry Root, and I love them. I can go in and I can create my own shopping list and my own preferences, and then it's delivered to me every Tuesday, and I don't have to worry about meals for the week. It's amazing. Other ones are what they call curation. Now, these are probably my favorite types of subscription models. And the reason that these have boiled off is it's time savings. So think Spotify playlist. I get something that's personalized, but I also don't have to spend any time going out and searching for it. Or some of the clothing lines that you get like in a box. So like Stitch Fix, right? Somebody will actually go shopping for me. Oh my gosh, sign me up. I hate shopping. So these are the 4 things that we know are contributing to the explosion in subscription models. And rightfully so. These are all very real needs of the consumer. Now, when we look at all of these models, the hard thing, especially if you are a coach or a course creator or a SaaS owner, is that a lot of these models are e-com based. I have a physical product that I'm being delivered, or they are entertainment based. So Netflix probably being the most popular. And if we look at the price point of these, Netflix has a $6.99 a month, right? On average. You might be paying more if you have add-ons. The standard is $15.49 a month. And then if you really want to go premium, it's $22 a month, right? $22.99 to be specific. Now, if we're like, hey, I'm not in the entertainment business, I'm in the teaching business, and the services that I offer are one based out of I educate and I teach and I guide, well, then I think 2 of the best models out there are Masterclass, which you can only buy an annual subscription to Masterclass, and they're a little bit clever in their pricing. So they say it's $15 a month, but you can't actually pay monthly, you only can pay annual. Or Mindvalley, which is another really popular one out there. They do allow you to pay monthly or yearly. Of course, they do the trick of if you go for a year, then you save money. So the monthly is $49 a month and the yearly is $299 for the year. So these are still, if we look at $49 a month at the higher end of that scale, these are still pretty low ticket subscription models that we have out there when we're saying, okay, you guys, I get it. You're telling me I need to have a continuity business, and continuity is linked to subscription model, but all the subscription models that I see out there are like $100 or less. And how the heck am I going to build a business on that?
When Russell started talking about linchpin and introducing everybody to that framework, which obviously it includes continuity, everyone was going crazy. Like, yes, we need continuity. We need subscription offers. So we went back to our clients and our own business, and we were all under the impression of, yeah, we need continuity. Let's launch some continuity. And we all automatically went to this idea of launching a low ticket subscription offer. But that's where it went wrong. But Russell was saying continuity was the way, and we all knew we needed to have subscription offers, and we didn't know any better on how to go execute on this advice and on this framework. So we went down the path of low ticket offers. We launched our own low ticket subscription offer, and we were like, okay, this is it. We're doing it. We're doing what Russell says. But we realized we were not going to grow fast enough. It wasn't working for us. It wasn't working for us. It wasn't working for our clients. we realized like this is never going to work because we all need cash flow now. Not only were our clients needing that cash flow, but we had just opened the doors to our Geek Out agency and we needed cash flow bad. And we're like, it's just not going to work selling low ticket because we don't have a large audience and we're new. We aren't going to be able to get the volume that is required with the way that we like to approach business. However, the people that did come into that offer were telling us they wanted more. They weren't leaving, they wanted more. So what we did instead was we launched a 5K offer that had continuity built into it. We said, no, we're not doing low ticket. We need cash. Let's launch this offer. And it was a success. It was a hit. And people came into it. We wrapped up 6 months of continuity into the offer and then told our customers, hey, if you want to stick around beyond this piece of this offer, you can for this monthly price. So this solved two problems. It solved our cash flow problem and it satisfied our super fans that were raising their hand and saying, I want more. It gave them a place for us to serve them at a higher level and we could get paid for it. Let us know. Have you been trying to figure out how to make a subscription offer work for your coaching or course business? So what does this actually look like inside of Linchpin? The funny thing is that it was right under our noses. We were just all applying it in the incorrect way. Let me show you the Linchpin framework as Russell has given it to us. Do you see this part where it says offer plus bulk continuity? We've all been applying it in the way that Russell is applying it, but he's a big fish. We are little fish. So we need to apply it in a different way. What we need to do is offer people a one-time payment offer with continuity built into it. The continuity part is a trial of what you want them to pay you for ongoing. So yes, we're still following offer plus bulk continuity, but we're leading with a mid-ticket offer with a price point anywhere between 1 to 5 to 7K. It depends on where you're at in your business. As beginners, your offer is probably going to be between the 1 to 3K price range. But the point is they pay one time for that product, and we're going to talk about what that product should be here in just a moment. And then they own it forever. But in having that product, they get the trial of your continuity, but you're giving it to them, not just a 30-day trial. You're giving it to them in a trial of however long it takes them to go through that product, that program, is how long you should give them a trial for. So if it takes 3 months for them to go through your program, then you should give them 3 months trial of your continuity. Make sense? So let me break this down using us, Geek Out, as an example. What we did was we launched an offer that was $5,000. People could pay the $5,000 and be in the program. But we also packaged it up with 6 months of our continuity offer. That means they could experience what we had to offer for our continuity all along the way. And the key for us was the continuity actually has to go with that offer. It is the support that we were giving during the period of time when they were going through our program. And so it just naturally makes sense for them to continue paying it after the 6 months is over if they want to continue getting the support from us.
You know now that you have to have an offer that they own forever, and you package that with bulk continuity, right? That then they would roll over into a continuity reoccurring revenue model after that initial work that you do with them of the thing that they own. Now, here's the thing that we know and that we have deeply realized in our attempts to try to roll out continuity programs for ourselves and our clients. And that is selling continuity is difficult, especially given the history that you all learned about today, that people are kind of just subscription out, right? They have so many subscriptions. And so people are increasingly saying no to getting right into a continuity or subscription-based model. So that's why it's really important to have that first offer that they own outright. And then the continuity doesn't happen until later, so that you have time during that first initial offer to help them to be able to raise their hand again. Steve Larson has this really amazing concept called the tell me more, right? So it's you are marketing to somebody and you have no right having a sales conversation until you can raise your hand and say, tell me more. Amazing program. Highly recommend that you check them out. Well, it's no different when we're playing the continuity game. Because people are so leery to get into a continuity program right away, you need to be able to set it up so that that offer that they own outright before the continuity reoccurring revenue model kicks in for them, or the reoccurring payments kick in, they need to be able to have an experience with you that gets them to say, I want to go deeper. Similar to the tell me more, I'm ready to buy, you need to get them into a place where they've had a win, that they've experienced your world, and I want to go deeper. What else do you have? Exactly what Susan was talking about with us. People were asking, we don't want to go, we want more. Okay, that is the opportunity to bring them into a continuity. It's not before then that you would do that. So we know that this magic bundle of the offer they own outright, that gives you time to work with them. And then at the end of that offer duration, right, of the intended time of the transformation, that's when you can enter into the reoccurring revenue conversation. When they're ready and they're saying, what else do you have? I want more. All right. So the next question that you have to ask is, okay, well, what does that first offer look like that gets them to say, I want more, that gets them to want to stay into your world? Well, in order to explain exactly what that perfect first offer is from our experience, it's important to bring you back to this concept that we've talked about. And that is that there's a difference between a business model, which is how do you package things, how do you price things, how do you position it out into the market, and the experience model, which is how do people actually experience the thing that they bought? How do they experience being in your world? How do they experience actually doing the thing and getting the transformation that you intend? In order to understand this, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's two gentlemen, Gilmore and Pine, who first came out with this concept of the experience economy. And in the experience economy, it's that people are willing to pay for experience. So given my background in experience, we talk a lot about experience. And very specifically, the type of experience that we're talking about is not an entertainment experience. It's not an escape experience. It's not an aesthetic experience, right? Of like looking at a beautiful art piece. It is what we call an education experience. And an education experience is the space that we are working in. Now, let me break this down a little bit more because experience can sometimes be this abstract, crazy concept that's a little bit hard to define. So, what is experience? I define experience as the space you create for the transformation you intend. I'm going to say that again. The space you create for the transformation you intend. Andrea, what the heck does that mean? All right. Let me give you two examples. Let's say that somebody comes to you and they say, I want you to build me the most amazing obstacle course in the entire world. Well, the first thing that I would start thinking about is, what's the intention of an obstacle course? It's fun, it's to get fit, it's to get shape, it's to try to work out, it's to break a sweat, it's to compete, right? These are all the intentions of an obstacle course. So the way that I would build the space for that experience is, you can see here in the picture, I would have really clear paths, single focus, one obstacle at a time. It increases in complexity. I might even put like a sign postage or a billboard up on, the side. I might put speakers there that blast loud music, right? I might even have like a gun go off to be like, bang, begin, right? I might have some like fanfare and bands playing on the end line with lots of excitement, right? So this would be a very different experience than, let's say you came to me and you said, Andrea, I want you to build me the most amazing library experience in the world. Well, okay, the library experience, right? And the intention behind that is, I want to be able to greet every single person that comes in that door, their natural curiosity and their wonder about the world that day. I want to be able to connect them with something that helps go deeper into that curiosity, that helps them explore the world at large, that opens up new possibilities that they might not even understand or fathom at that moment in their life. And I want to be able to create a quiet space for my beautiful introverts who need time just for reflection, and they should be able to sit and lounge and not feel any pressure or any sense of time. I almost want to feel like that time stands still in this place so they can just go about their fancies of whatever they want to learn. And it needs to be well lit for all of my people who have aging eyes, and it needs to be able to be easily findable, the thing that they're wanting to search for, right? So I might have things like the Dewey Decimal System, or maybe even a clerk right at the front door to help them find the thing they want. And the list goes on, right? So you can see that these two experiences are very different. And the way that I would craft the space for these experiences is very different in order to get my intended result. This is no different when we're making offers for our people. And what we found after studying about 169 different experiences inside of membership spaces and continuity spaces, we found that there's actually only 6. There's only 6 types. And the 6 types of experience models are these: the sprint model, the library model, the course model, the mastermind, the coaching, and the event. Now, in this video, we're not going to go deep into all 6 of these, but I will say, one of these is the absolute best possible model that you can do for that offer, that first offer, in order to get them to say, I want more, in order to get them to say, I want to go deeper. And that one experience model that has the highest amount of success from our experience is the sprint model. Now, what the sprint model is essentially, if you think about you're building a continuity experience and you really have these 6 experience models that you could choose from, right? And eventually your whole continuity experience, the big experience that people come into your world, is like a giant world you're creating. So you're gonna have different types of experiences throughout your world. But of the 6 experiences, there are 2 that are really good to help bring up people into your world. And there are 4 that are help people advance in your world. And again, for that first offer that you're giving, in order to get them to say, I want to go deeper, I want more, we need to get them into your world. We need to get them inundated with the way that you speak about things, with your frameworks, the way that we work with people, right? Because that's the thing that's going to hook them. That's the thing that's going to tell them, I want to go deeper into your world. So in order to do that, that is the sprint model. So inside of the sprint model, you want to think about a sprint model like this. A sprint model is usually a high intensity. It's like that obstacle course. It's high intensity. There's lots of momentum and pressure. People feel the push to move. It is like the beginning of a race. It is like the exhilaration of somebody taking their first step. It is momentum that is undeniable, and you want to put the momentum into it. You want to make it very single focused. So it's not like a course where they can just come in and do at their own pace, right? Those tend to not be the best way to get started. But instead, it's hyper focused. Usually cohorts are best for this, where a group of people come into your world together and they're hyper focused on one thing and one result, and they're all doing it together. And there's a set start time and there's a set end time, and you are highly present and it is high touch. And if you are not present, at least the system that you give them has a lot of accountability in it. There's a lot of reminders. There's a lot of like, did you remember to do this today? It is a big momentum push. It gets them inundated into your world. It gets them using your language. It gets them oriented to your frameworks and the way that you talk and how you engage with people. And they get that little win. They get that first taste of what winning could look like in your world. They get that first taste of the transformation that they really want to be having and the reason they came to you in the first place. And when they get that first taste, when they experience what it's like to work with you, that is the thing that is going to get them to say, I want more. I want to go deeper. And that is the best possible experience that you can create in order to get people to then convert over into the reoccurring revenue month over month. So if you think about that offer they own forever, going into the continuity experience, they already have some bulk continuity they're experiencing. That offer is a sprint experience model. Best one, hands down.
Do you see how this offer for continuity can work better for your business instead of a low ticket subscription offer? We've just showed you how you can add continuity into your coaching or course-based business without sacrificing cash flow and without having a massive audience. Join us in our CF 2.0 Geek Out Facebook community, where we go deeper into how to build these continuity experiences, and we can answer your questions along the way. If you want to join, the link is down in the description.